Okay, so today's story is number 3. And Yuichi has it on the screen for us. Thank you. Page 7. How much is enough? The farmer who was overcome by greed. There is a story by Leo Tolstoy about a land-hungry farmer who heard of a country so vast that land could be had for the asking. He traveled there and found it was true. The inhabitants and the chief all welcomed him, and the chief told him that he could help himself to any piece of land he wanted, as much as he could get around on foot in a single day. There is one condition, added the chief. You must start at sunrise and return to the place where you started before the sun sets. Start anywhere you like and go around marking the corners. Go as far and as wide as you please, but come back on time or you will gain nothing. That night the farmer lay awake with excitement at the thought of the vast tract awaiting him. In the morning he set off just as dawn was breaking and soon settled on a starting point for his land. Gradually his pace quickened to a trot. After going several miles, he marked another corner. Eventually, he broke into a run, driven by the knowledge that the faster he went, the more land would be his. He came to what would have been a reasonable turning place and passed it by, his greed spurring him on. Finally, surprised to see the sun already high overhead, he marked the last corner and began to run back to the starting point. He barely took time to eat lunch. By mid-afternoon, he was worn out, but he threw off his coat and boots and kept running. The sky was red with sunset. His feet were hurt and bloody, and his heart was at the bursting point. But if he collapsed now, all his effort would be for nothing. He ran for all he was worth, his eyes on the goal. His effort was rewarded, for he made it back just in time, only to fall over stone dead. His servant dug him a grave and buried him in it. In the end, all the land he needed was a plot 6 feet by 2. Tolstoy's farmer is not alone. Greed kills us all. Yeah, this is a very interesting story by Leo Tolstoy. And it kind of shows us how, like what Yuichi recently has been explaining in the meetups about the activity trap. This is a perhaps perfect example of the activity trap. It's like, he starts his activity, he wants to have a lot of land, and he can have as much land as he, put in the effort. So his greed spurs him on and he wants more and more and more. It kind of feels very good when we are receiving something that fulfills our desires. In this case, it's desire for property or wealth, money. So while we are busy generating those things, fulfilling our needs, or fulfilling our desires or greed, then what happens is we get trapped, like we forget why we are doing this in the first place. Yeah, another maybe common daily example is when I start cooking sometimes, I get carried away. It feels so good. I'm preparing something beautiful. I look forward to eating it. And I forget track of time. So that's another example of activity trap. So of course, the antidote to it is we set the timer. We have a very good schedule ahead of time, firmly and set, and then we can have the alarm ring and we're like, okay, I need to wrap it up. Actually, in Japan, there is people will make announcement. Okay, guys, cleaning time is over. Now let's put the cleaning tools back in place and start, entering the final phrase of the cleaning. Like there is even an announcement like that. So we need to discipline our mind and heart. If we want to find true happiness, we have to be very careful about our desires that easily turn into greed, and we just get carried away. We don't even know what it was all about. So especially people find this out when it's the end of their life. But for us, we don't want to wait until then. Instead, we can, with the blessing of Dharma in our lives, we can gain that wisdom to recognize the difference between our needs and our wants, like they always say that to us. Yeah, so yeah, this is part of the accountability that Yuichi explains in the meetups. We hold ourselves accountable in this way, and then we can go forward towards a happiness that holds us fast, never to abandon us. So that's the beauty of being on this spiritual journey, raising our awareness more and more. So good job, everyone, being here, practicing together, raising our awareness together. Today is Sunday, so we have our advanced class. And yeah, have a beautiful Sunday, everyone. Bye-bye.